We all know a type of people who had just finished off their Thanksgiving turkey and are already ready for a family movie marathon to get in the holiday mood, especially now that they finally have permission to watch Christmas flicks. Today we're going to tell you about the top 10 best Christmas movies to watch. Number 10, It's a Wonderful Life. Beautifully affirming at the best of times, It's a Wonderful Life really comes into its own during the festive period, when it's a tale of a man whose imminent suicide on Christmas Eve brings about the intervention of his guardian angel and takes on an added poignancy. Starring James Stewart as George Bailey, the film shows viewers how he has touched the lives of others and how different life would be for his wife Mary and his community of Bedford Falls if he had not been born. Not just one of the best Christmas films, It's a Wonderful Life is considered as one of the best movies of all time and was nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Number 9, Miracle on 34th Street. Another Academy Award nominated Christmas film, it won 3. Miracle on 34th Street stars Edmund Gwenn as a department store Santa who claims to be the real Father Christmas. Its story takes place between Thanksgiving and Christmas Day in New York City and is a long-standing Christmas favorite. If you can't stream it this year, rest assured that it'll be on TV at least once over the festive period. Miracle on 34th Street is one of the most beloved Christmas classics there is. The heartbreaking drama of divorce, the all-too-real battle with addiction, combined with the ultimate triumph of Richard Attenborough's Kris Kringle and Christmas spirit, makes this film an absolute must-watch every year. And let's be real, after making it through 2020 and 2021, who couldn't use some comfort viewing and Christmas cheer? Miracle on 34th Street won 3 Oscars, Best Supporting Actor for Edmund Gwenn, Best Writing Original Story for Valentine Davies, and Best Writing Screenplay for George Seaton. It was also nominated for Best Picture, meaning it's not just the festive lot that loves this movie, even the Library of Congress preserved it. In case you thought you needed Kris Kringle or a Christmas miracle of your own to watch this year, fret not. Number 8, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Tim Burton's Christmas classic simply has to be seen to be believed, with amazing stop-motion animation that's impressive whether the time of the year you choose to watch it. It tells the story of Jack Skellington, the king of Halloween Town, who stumbles through a portal to Christmas Town and becomes obsessed with celebrating the holiday. The film follows the misadventures of Jack Skellington, Halloween Town's beloved Pumpkin King, who has become bored with the same annual routine of frightening people in the real world when Jack accidentally stumbles on Christmas Town. All bright colors and warm spirits, he gets a new lease on life. He plots to bring Christmas under his control by kidnapping Santa Claus and taking over the role. But Jack soon discovers even the best laid plans of mice and skeleton men can go seriously awry. Number 7, Die Hard. Christmas almost takes a back seat in this action classic that tells the story of Nakatomi Plaza, a Los Angeles skyscraper at the center of a terrorist takeover on Christmas Eve. Almost, Die Hard has retroactively been called one of the best Christmas films ever, and were the festive setting to be removed, it's unlikely the movie would have quite the same heft as it does. Number 6, Arthur Christmas. Aardman Animation of Wallace and Gromit fame takes a step into 3D CG territory with this modern-day classic that imagines the business of Santa Claus and present delivery as a kind of super-efficient industrial process in which Santa has become a benevolent CEO figurehead for a multinational-like corporation. It's more sentimental than makes it sound, though, and when Arthur, the clumsy but good-hearted son of Father Christmas, discovers Santa's high-tech ship has failed to deliver one ghost present, he embarks on a mission to save her Christmas. Number 5, Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey. Combining live-action sequences with stop-motion and CGI animation, Netflix's 2020 Christmas offering has already won critical praise and looks set to be a festive classic for years to come. That it was filmed in humble Norwich shouldn't detract from its heartstring-tugging premise, in which Jeronicus Jangle, an inventor and toymaker, makes Don Juan Diego a sentient matador doll. Number 4, Claus. Why Netflix's Claus isn't a household name already is beyond us, but the streaming service's contemporary animated classic, an alternate origin story of Santa Claus independent from the historical take of St. Nicholas, should soon be seen as one of the best festive features going. The film was Netflix's first animated original film to be nominated for an Academy Award. It lost out to Toy Story 4 and also won Best Animated Film at the BAFTAs. Number 3, Elf. Elf is the ultimate Christmas comedy, and it's still a newer classic in the Christmas canon. Will Ferrell masters the bubbly Buddy the Elf, who ventures to New York City after Santa informs him that he's not a real elf. He's an adopted North Pole resident, and now that he's grown, he's going to find his real father. Unfortunately, Buddy's real dad and NYC aren't as ebullient as he is. But that's alright because Buddy has revolving doors and the world's best cup of coffee to keep him energized. After you've watched or rewatched Elf on Stars, check out the animated remake Elf, Buddy's Musical Christmas on HBO Max. Number 2, Anna and the Apocalypse. A zombie musical film set in Scotland might not sound the most festive of offerings, but Anna and the Apocalypse is a film that delivers in every aspect of its genre smashing premiere. When a zombie apocalypse threatens the sleepy town of Little Haven, Anna and her friends rare forced to fight, slash and sing their way to survival, facing the undead in a desperate race to reach their loved ones. Trust us, this is the Christmas silliness at its best. Almost certainly one of the sweetest, most positive and upbeat Christmas movies on the list in this wonderful feel-good musical romance from director John McPhail, which also happens to be a zombie movie. It follows a group of friends in a small Scottish town who are just about to finish school and are making plans for the future when a zombie outbreak lands. Incredibly catchy tunes, which take inspiration from Buffy musical episode Once More with Feeling, mixed with inventive festive kills, zombie snowman decapitation in a highlight in a way that manages not to tonally jar. It's mostly thanks to the super likable performance of a young cast headed up by Ella Hunt and the teenage troubles, romances, and heartbreak which form the backdrop of the movie. Paul Kaye also pops up as a school's tyrannical headmaster. His musical numbers aren't the best, but he brings cartoon villain energy to an unusual but rather adorable Christmas horror that's way better than you might expect. Number 1, The Muppets Christmas Carol. Who would have thought that a cast of fuzzy puppets could outdo a Charles Dickens classic? That's exactly what the Muppets did in the early 90s with this esoteric take on the Victorian novel, which employs plenty of artistic license to suit the aesthetic of the Muppets but otherwise follows Dickens' original story closely. Some even say that this is Michael Caine's finest on-screen performance. Forget It's a Wonderful Life, forget Miracle on 34th Street, please God forget The Holiday. There is only one definitive Christmas movie, and that is The Muppets Christmas Carol. Not only is this the best Christmas film, but it's the best screen adaptation of a Charles Dickens novella. Though this has had the unfortunate side effect of convincing a generation of children that Marley had a brother called Robert, the Marleys were dead to begin with. That's how Gonzo, our self-possessed, omniscient narrator, this film really doesn't talk down to children, begins the meta-narrative. His companion Rizzo the Rat, meanwhile, is mainly here for the food, and says what we're all thinking. A blue furry Charles Dickens who hangs out with a rat? Yes indeed, that is a setup. In a postmodern stroke of genius, Rizzo acts as a sort of Greek chorus with a New York accent, enduring a series of slapstick mishaps that include being set on fire, thrown from windowsills, and falling down a chimney on a red-hot goose. As for the Muppets, the casting is genius. Kermit is perfect as Bob Cratchit, the gentle, kind, loving father whose froggy son, Tiny Tim, who we are hilariously informed at the end does not die, captures our hearts. Miss Piggy is thrillingly furious as Mr. Cratchit, the only character in the film who is so blatantly sick of Scrooge's shit and therefore a socialist hero. Statler and Waldorf are evilly brilliant as Marley and Marley, basically your typical cartoon Tories, crackling evilly about evicting children from orphanages. It's ridiculous, really, to carry so much affection for a children's puppet film. Strangely, several critics really didn't get it at the time, but I feel most offended reading their faint praise. Part of the reason that this film continues to be so beloved, I think, is because it doesn't have a bad or cynical bone in its body. Its heart is so firmly in the right place, and yet it's never saccharine because any sweetness is undercut with humor. It's a film made with the purest of intentions to entertain children and tell them a story about how it's a better world if we are all just kind to each other. The songs were written by Paul Williams, a recovering drug addict who had spent much of the 1980s blitzed on vodka and cocaine. Do let us know in the comments which of them you've watched. Thanks for watching.